All right, so I'm going to walk you through this again. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our calculator on. We're going to push our stat button, and we're going to go to edit. And we have some information in our L1 already, so we need to go up to L1 with our cursor, push clear and enter to get rid of that data. And if you have anything in L2, same thing, go over to L2 with your cursor, push clear and enter, and that gets rid of the information. Is your information cleared on your calculator now?
Yep.
Okay, so under L1, we'll start typing these numbers. And then for L2, we'll enter these numbers. 34. So you just type 34, enter. 41, enter. Okay, 38, enter. 37, enter. 48, enter. 19, enter. 33, enter. 43, enter. 21, enter. 44, enter. Then I jump over to L2 and I start typing these in. 34, enter. 35, enter. 33, enter. 35, enter. 33, enter. Enter. 33, enter. Where am I? 35, enter. 34, enter. 33, enter. That's all of them. Okay. So we have 10 pieces of information. Yeah? Okay, awesome. So, one of the things that we can do right now that we've already done before, let's look at Morgan. What number appears the most often?
Yeah.
Is there a number that appears?
I don't think so.
34, it doesn't look like it, right? I don't believe so. So, there is, for her, no mode. Right? For Paige,
33.
1, 2, 3, 4 33s. And I can go through my list, yeah. So the mode is 33 is the mode. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that help us with deciding which one is better? I don't know.
No.
Okay. What else can we do? Well, we could find the middle. But again, that would mean some of the numbers are higher, some of them are lower, right? What do we do to find that? Arrange them from smallest to lowest, and find the middle, right? If it's an even number, which in this case there's 10 of them, we would take our fifth and sixth number, and then find the mean, find the average of those two, right? Add them together, divide by 2, right? So we could find our mean for both of these girls, right? We could find our mean. Sorry, that was our median, okay? Whatever it happens to be, right? We could find our average. Well, our average is going to be by taking all of these numbers, adding them up, dividing by 10, right? That's our mean, right? So we're not going to do all that. We already typed them into our calculator. Woo! So what we're going to do is we're going to put our stat button, and we're going to go over to calculate. Right? So we're going to go to our stat button. And we're going to go over to calculate. Hopefully you can see that. And we're going to choose number 1, variable stats. So enter. And we're going to do that on second function number 1, so list 1, and hit enter. And what is the mean that the calculator tells you?
33.9.
Woo, for L1? I don't think so. I got 35.8. Let's check your numbers. So go back to your stat, go to edit, check your numbers and make sure that under L1 you have the right numbers. 34.
Oh yeah, I got it now.
You got it now? Okay. So we'll go back to that. Oops. So we have a mean of 35.8. We have sigma x of 358, which means all of these numbers added up, 358. You have divided by 10, 35.8. Sweet, right? Sigma x squared is 358 squared, 13,630. Right? And then we're going to skip this, and we're going to look at this symbol. 9.01. Actually, 9.02 if I round up to 2 decimal places, yeah? Okay. This is our standard deviation? Now, I would much rather do this on the calculator than, let's just jump up to, oh, go back a slide to this one. Yeah, this slide. Than having to take each one of those terms, subtracting it from the mean, squaring it, and then adding up all those numbers and dividing by 10, and then taking the square root of that. That's a lot of work, when really all I had to do was run variable stats on my calculator, and we get a standard deviation of 9.02 for Morgan. So this is Morgan. All right, let's look at page. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to stat button. We're going to go over to calculate. Number 1, variable stats. And we're going to run that on L2, so second function number 2. Hit enter. And what is the mean there?
33.9.
33.9. And sigma x, which was 339, and sigma x squared, which was 11499. And what is our standard deviation for page?
0.83.
0.83. Okay. All right. And if we go further down, we'll find our median was actually 34. Right? I believe, yeah. Okay. So, clear. So what do we have? We have a standard deviation for Morgan of 9.02 and a standard deviation of 0.83 for Page, right? So what does that deviation tell us? Well, that tells us that every one of Page's values are 0.83 away from the average, from that mean. Whereas every one of Morgan's scores are 9.02 deviations away from that average, from that mean, right? So who do you think would be a more consistent shot?
Page.
Why Page?
Because standard deviation tells us that the lower the number, the closer it is.
Right, the lower the number, the closer we are to that average, so she's more consistent, yeah. This person's kind of all over the place, right? Excellent. So let's jump to this next slide. Right. And we'll just pull this little slide out. Over there. Well, there they were. Those were our numbers, all right? We'll jump to the next slide. So, this is why we did it on the calculator. We would have to take 34 subtracted from the mean, 41 subtracted from her mean, 38 subtracted from the mean, 37 subtracted from the mean, and then take that, square that answer, add all of those up, divide by 10 and take the square root of it to find that standard deviation. Or you can use your calculator, variable stats. Number 1, perform a list on L1, enter. Oh, standard deviation is 9.02. Standard deviation 0.81 or whatever it was. Right? I want to use the calculator. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Sounds good. But you do know how to do it without a calculator. Right? On all my tests, of course, I'll let you use the calculator. Jump to the next slide. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah, great. This is an awesome one. Let's try this one, okay? So, a machine packing candy in 90-gram packages is thought to be faulty. So here's where do we use this in the real world? Okay, well, I have a candy machine that's making 90-gram packages. You buy some candy in the store, right? You open up this big bag of candy, and you open it up, what do you find? It's mostly air. Yeah, how much air? I don't know. But there's some candy in there, right? Well, I want to know that the $3 that I spent on whatever that candy was, did I get really my 90 grams worth of candy in there? Or as close to 90 grams as I can, right? A sample of 10 packages is randomly selected. So they pull out 10 packages from the machine to test how good is this machine, right? 86, 91, here's the numbers. Now, if the machine is working properly, right? Because not every bag of chips or candy is going to actually have the 90 grams in it that it says it does, right? But so long as the deviation is below less than 1.3 grams, they're okay with that. They don't really care because they're going to take your money regardless, right? But if it's more than 1.3, they go, oh, wait a minute, nobody's going to pay $3 for one M&M in a bag, right? We've got to make it look like there's something in there, right? So long as it's less than 1.3 grams away from that mean, right? So how do we figure this out? Let me just pull this out of here, all right? So you find the mean. Well, we add up all those numbers, 90 divided by 900 divided by 10, 90, right? So we're not going to do that. We're going to put those all on our list, and we're going to variable stat it and find out, oh, our mean is 90. Then what do we do for every single one of our terms? 86 minus 90, 88 minus 90, 89 minus 90. We write them down, then we square them. That's how we got rid of the -4, 4 below, 2 below, 1 below, right? We square all those. We add them up. We divide by 10. And we get a standard deviation of 1.9. Okay? So, move that away. All right. It turns out after we enter all this into our calculator and perform those variable stats on list 1, because that's where we put the information, and I'll have you do that for practice after this video, then our standard deviation was, what was it? I don't remember. 1.9, I believe. Yeah, 1.9. 1.9 grams. So, is our machine faulty?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Right? So what they have to do is they have to fine tune the machine a little bit. Then they'll make some more candy. They'll randomly pull out another 10 bags, and they'll do this exact same thing again until it's less than 1.3. Right? What if it's exactly 1.3?
That's fine.
No, it's not fine because it has to be less than 1.3. Otherwise, it would be less than or equal to. All right? Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So you are going to look at questions on page 233. Two, 8, 10, and 13. That's it. All right. Next class, we'll look at, well, the next time I'm working with you, we will do, well, that's the summary. Next one is normal distribution. All right. Some characteristics of normal distribution. So that's our next lesson. See you again.